we are going to talk about how long it takes to buy a house. But before we get to all that, I'm Melanie Beran with Wyatt Properties, myhomeinhouston.com. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Houston area, make sure that you like this video, comment, subscribe, so that you don't miss a single thing. Alright, so let's talk about how long it takes to buy a house. On average, it can take 3 to 5 months to go through the entire process. So let's talk about what that timeline looks like. Now, this timeline and a whole lot of other information that you could use to buy a house is going to be in the buyer's guide that is linked in the comments below. So you can go ahead, scroll down, get that link to the buyer's guide, get that emailed to you, and then come back to this. I'll wait. Okay, good. Now that you're back, let's talk about how long it takes to buy a house. Like I said, 3 to 5 months is fairly typical, but we're going to talk about what that process looks like. Now, first, a lot of times, instead of starting with when you want to start looking for a house, I ask people when they're planning on closing on their house. When are you planning on actually moving and getting the keys, right? That may have to do with a certain season. I know when I was a teacher, and a lot of other teachers I know prefer to try and do that over a holiday break, over the summer. There are a lot of different options and a lot of different reasons people move at different times, but think about when you plan to move. So let's say that you want to move, in April, right? Beginning of April, maybe around Easter. You're looking at moving, I don't know, like April 15th. Okay, so 3 to 5 months is how long this process is going to take. The last month of that process is typically when you're under contract on the home you're going to buy. So you want to be under contract on the home you're going to buy by like March 15th if you want to move April 15th, okay? So the first chunk, we're going to do this timeline backwards, is figure out when you want to move, and then a month out from that is about when you want to be under contract. It is super hard to time it exactly, so you want to give yourself a few weeks of wiggle room either way, or even a month or two of wiggle room depending on your situation, to make sure that you find the right house for you, things like that, because it's really hard to specifically time to the day, even to the week, and sometimes even to the month that you exactly want to move. Because as much as it depends on your timeline, it also depends on the seller's timelines and really just what's available on the market at that time in your price range and if it's a home that you want to buy. Okay, so let's say you need 30 days for closing, for being under contract, inspections, appraisals, all that kind of stuff. Then if you're going to want to be under contract by March 15th-ish, right, within the first 2 weeks of March, it's typically going to take you 2 or 3 months to find the home that you love, make an offer, have an offer accepted. So if you're looking at moving around March 5th, or being under contract around March 15th, then 2 to 3 months before that is when you want to be actively looking for homes. So that's going to be January or even in December of the previous year. Okay, so when you want to move, 30 days before that is about when you want to be under contract. 2 to 3 months before that is when you want to be actively looking for a home. And so at the very start of that 2 to 3 month looking period, searching period, that's when you want to get pre-approved with a lender. Basically, pre-approval is your ticket to home showings. It's your ticket to being able to put in an offer in the market that we're in. Sellers aren't going to seriously consider an offer that comes in without a loan pre-approval. And if you need a lender, I have great options for you. I know of lenders that have low down payment loans and lenders that have, incentives for or rewards for teachers, nurses, firefighters, military, things like that. So I have not all kinds, because I don't have a bajillion lenders I work with. I have a small group of trusted lenders that I am able to send you to so that we actually all know who we're working with, because as your real estate agent and you as the buyers and the lender, we're all going to be working as a team to get you from the start to the finish line of this transaction. So how long does it take to buy a house? In reality, 4 to 5 months is what you're looking at. Because the pre-approval process, they need to give you an answer within a handful of days, but let's say you don't give them complete information. Well, then they can't start processing, so it may take a few more days to get, like your pay stubs together, or If you're gonna need to pull from a retirement fund to put a down payment down, they're gonna need documentation from your retirement fund that says that you can do that from your workplace. So there are a lot of things that go into it. So your timeline, how long it takes to buy a house, is probably 3, 4, 5 months. Pick when you want to move. 30 days, about 30 days before that is when you want to be under contract. 2 to 3 months before that is when you want to start actively looking, and at the front of that is when you need to work with a real estate agent so we can nail down what you want, what you need, your locations, your preferences, all those kinds of things. And you want to work with a lender to go ahead and get through the pre-approval process so that once you get pre-approved, we can start shopping for that home that has your wants and needs and your location and all those things. I hope this is helpful for you. If you have questions about the timeline, can you shorten that timeline? Possibly. It depends on what your price range is, how competitive that price range is, how long your list of needs and wants are. How you have every right to be particular with the home that you're buying, but how particular you are with certain things versus, what repairs or what cosmetic changes, like maybe you want all tile. Are you willing to buy a house that has carpet and then turn around and put tile in it? How flexible you are on those kinds of things. The more flexible you are, the shorter that timeline can be. But really, 3 to 5 months is going to be your target range for how long it takes to buy a house. I'm Melanie Beran with Wyatt Properties. I hope something really great happens to you today.